Hey folks, good morning. Guess what day it is? It's Jaunt 2023. Come along with us. We're going to find some good treasure. Kelly's got her Jaunt guide out making a plan. She's been making a plan for a couple days. She lives for this event. She's got it all mapped out. In case you haven't been with us before, Jaunt is a Nebraska event held every year in the latter part of September. And it's a 3-day, 300-mile junk / yard sale. You can find lots of treasures. So Kelly's got all 3 days off this year, so we're going to hit it hard and we'll bring you along. I love that old light fixture. Some old garden gates. Old wooden steel wheels and some lightning rods. You used to fasten these to the tops of buildings and then run a cable down to the ground to attract or channel the lightning around the house. There's an old hay fork that used to go on the trolleys inside the barns. This little mechanism would trip right there and would allow that hook to pull out of there, and then it would open up the fork. There's some good blacksmith tongs, only $20, not a bad price. Those can go upwards of $50. There's a hand crank forge blower, $95, not a terrible price on that. Saw these, this is a pair of steps. These would bolt underneath like a wagon and would be like a step to get on. There's 2 of them, $45 for the pair. Now here's an old corn sheller. They even brought some corn cobs so you can see it working. It's either belt drive or hand crank. Pretty sweet. Some old turn posts. Some old windmill sections. Those are very popular for decorating. I think Kelly found a box of license plates over there she's looking through for me. Some old pulleys and ropes. More garden gates. These are the old wash tubs. Wash tub stand. Let's see if it's got the hoses on the other side. Nope, I don't see the hoses. These look like they're bottom drain. Bed frame, tractor seat. Ooh, there's some cultivator wheels. I buy those to make flowers out of them.
No, you don't. All right, see you, man. Yep, take care.
There's a big old cast iron. I forget what they call these things. Like a big cauldron, but it's oblong. It's made to fit over like 2 burners on a stove. Oh, sweet. Old door hardware. Some decorative hooks. The old foot pedal scrolling saw. Pretty neat. And the spinning wheel right next to it. Old milk cans. Here's a horse for the yard made out of concrete. Old wash tub with ringers. Ooh, got some license plates up here I'm gonna have to look through. If you remember last year, we were looking for one license plate for every county in Nebraska. All the counties are numbered. So you see like the 86 on the front of this license plate, that's 86 county.
He's kind of creepy, I'm just gonna say.
So gotta look through. Here's an old crusher and press. You'd put your fruit here in the top and it would crush whatever fruit you had and would go down into the press deal. And then once it's full, you'd swap this one here for that one. And then you have your big press here on the front. It's an old wood burning kitchen stove. These worked really well back in the day. Lots of stuff was probably cooked in this thing. Big building full of stuff. Boy, got lamp central here. All kinds of lantern, every kind of hurricane lamp you can imagine. There's our favorite bowl, 25 bucks just for the one bowl. Those come in a set. It's hard to find a full set anymore.
Don't you be plugging those in after that? Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, it definitely has one.
Those that have been around the channel a while know that I collect pie birds. Finding a pie bird on a display like this is a very daunting task.
The fun of the hunt.
Yeah, we enjoy the hunt. Some old hay rake teeth, and then the Grim Reaper scythe over there. And then these chain thingies here, these were cow hobbles to hobble the cows together when you milked them, keep them from kicking you. With an old toaster, you would put it over like a gas burner and put your toast there, leaning up on all four sides. Toast your bread. More buggy steps. These are a little larger versions of them. Pretty neat stuff. An old wooden tank. I wonder if that was something somebody made or if they actually sold them that way. I had one of these Tonka road graders when I was a kid. An old mouse trap. A couple coffee grinders, and look at this old copper and brass oil can. Yeah, butter mold right here. You remember we used to get 15 cents for these old bottles. Here's an old countertop water pump. You would put these in your house. You can see the spout goes off to the left instead of straight out, so you'd have it on your counter by your sink, and then you could pump it easier because it's the pump handle's around the other direction. The old spring-loaded tractor seat. It's not a cast iron one though. Some old Canadian goose decoys. Whole barn full of stuff.
Yep.
Now there's a neat idea, using old irons for bookends. And if you had a kid that loved to read, they've got millions of the little golden books here. Old school stuff. Who would have thought back in the day that yardsticks would be collectible? Everybody used to give out yardsticks. Here's a John Deere one. Wonder what that's going for. $7.
An L and an S. And
Old tool section.
so yeah. There's an S.
Got some cast iron.
I have it in my car.
Lots of treasure in here. Oil cans. We got one of these in our cast iron stash. It's you make cornbread in these that look like corn cobs. All kinds of beer tap handles. Pretty cool if somebody had an old bar. And then stoplight here. In the blacksmithing section, got a post vise. I've never seen a post vise in a apparatus like that. I think that's not supposed to be that way because it still has the table flange on there. I think that's something just somebody rigged up. Some old anvils. They're pretty proud of these things. Two more old post vise over here. More cast iron. Cute little pan.
Fit in the air fryer.
Yeah. Some more lightning rods. These are more decorative. Got like the glass balls on them. Pretty neat. I didn't know they made the jigsaw puzzle. I had the poster, as did every young man back in the day. The neat corner over here in the building. Got some cool old thermometers over there. Look at this big old Dutch oven there. Even got a crystal ball. Got a couple old big butter churns here. Hand crank butter churns. These are neat. There's a little manual one right there with the stick. Bunch of old metal military vehicles. Those would have been fun when I had all my little plastic army men back in the day. Never seen this style of old telephone before. I've seen bunches of these, but never one of these before. Anybody seen one of these old potbelly stove? I've never have. It's a new idea brand. These are tiny little stoves for very small, probably the old sod houses, Kelly thinks. The old elevator buckets, people really like those for storage in your shop, storage bins. $4 per bucket. Well, folks, that was just one stop. We got a long ways to go today. All right, starting to sprinkle out here. Wind's coming up, but we've reached one of our favorite stores here for junk jaunt. One that Evans Feed here in town runs. It's a neat old table somebody made out of a pump jack and a grinding stone. An old spoked wheel. Got some anvils and some beautiful old potbelly stoves. Some gas pumps. An old forge here with a pump. A couple cauldrons. This store is just full of the good stuff. My grandmother had a washing machine real close to this, but it had the gas motor on it. Got the wringer attachment and everything right here with the washer. Neat old gas stove. Some theater benches. Could spend a lot of time in this store right here. A couple nice big fixtures. And then some smaller ones up here.
And just take some carpet cleaner and spray it off.
They got a countertop pump jack for left-handers here. Never seen one of those before. This is the upstairs area to Evan's feed store. Lots and lots of stuff. Kelly's already in the license plates for me over here. Got 3 old soda fountain stools. Pretty neat old retro stuff. Must be a short supply on Grim Reapers too. All the employment problems people are having nowadays. All their tools are here. Another old butter churn. Pretty neat. Couple old shoe shine boxes. Here's a bunch of old cobbler tools. If you didn't know, a cobbler was somebody that like made leather shoes stuff. So they would have one of these metal dies here for all different sizes when they were making shoes. Pretty cool. More old cast iron tractor seats. Couple grinding apparatus there that you sit on, the pedal grinders. Some old cleats. Look at the cleats on those things. Now that's a pretty creepy scooter there. This is an old hay trolley. Those used to go on the top of the hay barn. There's a neat old floor jack. This is before they made them hydraulic. They were kind of a lever action. And it's even got a steering axle. Check that out. We knocked another one off the list. Had a horseshoe Christmas tree. These are made out of like horseshoes that you play horseshoes with. And some old cream cans. There's some of the old cast iron banks. Little coin banks. Clydesdales. Real old license plates. I don't care who you are, that's funny right there. There's a windmill lost in the fog over there. Alright, it's now lunchtime on our journey today, and we're in Arcadia, Nebraska at the Corner Cafe. Now if you make your way through Arcadia someday in your travels, do yourself a favor and stop here at the Corner Cafe. The food is phenomenal. It's a Mennonite family that runs this. And if you know anything about Mennonites or Amish people like that, they are the best cooks. I would come here just for the pie. Sorry, no food pics, but I couldn't wait to get that into my face. It was so amazing. All right, now we are in Comstock, Nebraska. The wind's coming up. There's a cool old pedal car. Those are big money when they're restored. That's some motorcycle saddlebags. An old pump jack handle. There's a little garden gate. Those are really popular. Wind's gonna blow me away. I might be a player on this old horn here. Looks like we got some good junk here. I want one of these cultivator wheels. I don't have a style of these right here. We're definitely taking one of those with us. There's a big chicken for Kelly. Old school desks. The back of the one seat was the table for the next one. There's the old wash tub stand again. When you want to empty it, you just unhook the hose and let it drop. The garden gate. People like using these for trellises for flowers and such.
Hey babe, do you think there's any 10s in here?
10 millimeters? I doubt it. Probably missing it. Got some old oil cans. Got a clamp on ringer. That's pretty cool. Some scale bars. Big old parrot. John Deere colored pump jack. Lots of ornate cast iron stuff.
Well, I'm sure they twist off, they didn't screw.
Well, if someone was to get into leather working, every single tool you need is on this board. That is crazy. Now this is a rawhide saddle tree. When you make a leather saddle, this is what you start with right here. It's made out of wood, and then it's covered with rawhide, and then it dries. All kinds of gizmos here. Ice tongs. Some draw knives. Lots of tools over there. Kelly found the license plate. There's a bunch of signage over there. A few signage out here. You see these weights right here? Those go with those scale bars that I showed you a second ago. Bunch of old fishing stuff. Tackle boxes full of stuff. All the lures, everything is in these boxes. Bunch of fishing poles. Some more signage over here. Right lane never ends if you ask me. Lots of cast iron, Dutch ovens. You name it, it's here. Old toys. Lots of the old Pyrex dishes.
Full of fake eggs.
Chicken egg basket. That's cute. Kinds of old antique kitchen gizmos. All kinds of the cool old lamps. Everybody needs more cowbell. Check this lemon reamer out. It goes right in the measuring bowl. Sits right in there. It's got the holes. If I didn't have like 4 of those at home already, I'd buy that. There's an old cherry pitter. Clamps on the counter. This is one of the original bread machines right here. Lift that lid up, Kelly. Got the dough hook underneath. Put your ingredients down there. That's old school there. Just turn the crank. Knead your dough. Well, that was a good stop. We pulled the trigger on quite a few items here at this place. We'll go through everything we purchase each day at the end of the day with you guys. Now we've made it to Sargent, Nebraska. We've got quite a few stops here in this town and some really good ones too. This is one of my favorite places here in Sargent. It's called Thompson's Treasures. They're actually open most every weekend, but during Junk Jaunt they have a lot of vendors come in here to the back, so there's more stuff. Lots of old cool iron. Got some pumpkins and stuff made out of old Freon bottles and propane tanks. Pretty cool. Got some metal art. This guy does a lot of metal art. I think he was here last year as well. Some pretty cool old stuff. He's got a real good imagination. There's the F-bomb. There's lizards made out of a saw blade. That was so cool. Cattails made out of rebar. Little pooch down there. Dragonfly. There's a sewing machine tractor. That's the coolest thing ever right there. Old sewing machine. Cool plant stands, hanger stands made out of a disc blade and an old hay rake tooth. Look, there's another cool one. That's awesome. Here's some big old plant stands. You get one of the big cast iron pots and hang in here and plant stuff in it. Some more of these hurricane lantern hanging deals that been on the wall. If you remember, we got one a little while back at an auction.
Hopefully this should have a little more.
The weather vane cow. It's an old sausage stuffer. Put your meat down in there and just press it in. Shoots it out, missing the tubes out here. Old motor. Have no clue what it is. Maybe we have a tag down here we can read. It says Cushman. Pretty cool. An old wheel hoe. There's an old McCormick Deering. I think these were gray like this color back in the day. Pretty old tractor. Still have the metal cleat wheels, missing the cleats. It's an old post office right here. This is what they'd put in the wall. Have all your mail in. Made in New Britain, Connecticut. These are the best coffee pots for camping. If you put in your camper, they're a percolating pot. Fantastic. We love these. We had 2 or 3 of them we'd use at deer camp. Some old bottles, some glass insulators, old tools, some more cultivator wheels. I got some of these already. It's an old corn sheller. Still works. Old pump jack, missing the handles. Missing a lot of the handles because they would just put underneath the windmills and they would just need the stem. They didn't need the arm. Here's a cabbage box shredder. You put a head of cabbage in there. Shreds it for coleslaw. It's an old tobacco cutter. Another old butter churn, wooden butter churn. Seems like Kelly wants to go fishing. Here's an old leather working horse right here. You'd sit here if you were a leather person, and you'd put your workpiece in here, and then you step on this piece. It's got where you can tighten it down here, and it would clamp on your leather work, and then you could stitch your leather right here. Look at this neat old chair. It's got a built-in side table next to it. Another old buggy step. Here's an old calf weaner. You put this on the nose of a calf when you wanted to wean her off a mama. When she'd go to nurse, those would poke the mama and mama would kick her off. It's a nice old wooden high chair, and then here you got a goat wagon. You could pull behind a couple goats. A really nice old windmill weight. Huge. We want $800 for that. This is an old Atz without the handle. It's spelled ADZ. They would use these for squaring off logs. When they would have a round log, you would use this to chip the logs into a square shape. Like a hand-hewn log, those little chip marks in it, that's what the tool that made them. Found this nice rack for $7. I make knives out of these handles, and then these big pieces, the dogs like chewing on those. So can't beat it for $7, and it's pretty fresh. It's still got all the color to it, so it's not all bleached out and hard. Two giant nest boxes. The one in the back appears to be in a little bit better shape. Now there's an old tricycle there. Crazy old. Pez dispensers and pocket knives. Remember when those used to be very collectible. Whole jar full of wooden nickels.
The old ones.
I know. Yeah.
What'd you find?
But the old ones like have this.
I got a flag.
25.
Kind of made up of that too.
You can't even.
Lots of granite ware here.
Just don't jump out.
We wrapped up day one here in Sargent, Nebraska. So we're going to start heading towards home. We got to find some dinner somewhere. And then we'll show you our treasures once we get home from day one of Jaunt. Oh, we got lucky and our favorite taco place, Chewy's Tacos here in Ansley, Nebraska was open. They're not open all the time. Good stuff. Now we got to beat feet home because there's a severe thunderstorm warning coming. So we want to try to beat that home. All right, folks, we beat the major weather home. So we're going to unload the truck, get it ready for tomorrow. So let's show you what we picked up today. Kelly's first item is her little chicken full of fake eggs, little decorator item.
And then next I got 2 of these canisters. We already have 2 of them, so I'm going to use them for storing herbs, dried herbs when we dry them, or tinctures, which I've started making with some of our herbs and flowers.
Cool.
And then, oh,
Ruby.
2 more of these jars. I like these old ones that have the rubber gaskets in them. Use these for herbs or tinctures too. Then this I got is a dual-headed floodlight because Mark doesn't have enough projects. So I bought him this so that he could put this on my chicken coop. The door that we have going into the storage unit, into the chicken coop, is kind of dark now because our light moved on our property. So got this, pretty good deal. And then we found some more. We like these bushel baskets for the garden, collecting the veggies and the apples out of the trees. And with our orchard doing so well, hopefully we have other fruit to collect in them next year. And the last thing that I got, well, Mark wanted it more than me, I think, but was this old tin chicken. Stands what, about 2-3 foot tall?
Yeah, about 3 feet tall.
We'll put it somewhere around the coop so it fits in.
Got me another cultivator wheel. I don't have this style yet. I make flowers out of them for Kelly. So that would be a cool looking one. A set of nice fresh antlers for only $7. I use these handles here on the bottom. I make handles for knives because they're perfect. They got a good curve to them. And they got the little nice butt plate down here. But we only use about that much. And then these make really good dog chews. This is one of the things that Ruby takes a long time to destroy. So that'll be good for her.
And both dogs are interested right now.
Yeah, both dogs want a piece already. Got one more license plate for our collection. We were only able to find one today. I needed a 20 county, so we got that. Got blades for my table saw. I got a 10-inch table saw, and these are all carbide blades. There's 4 of them, brand new, still in the package. Got all 4 blades for $20, which is a steal. These will cost you about $20 each downtown. I got this old horn. I told this off of a Model T. I hope it works. Ruby, do you like that old horn? Get the horn.
She wants to hear it go auga.
Ooga! But I'm hoping it works. If not, I'll pull it apart and see if there's some serviceable stuff inside. But it should work. 6 volts, so I might hide this on the tractor on the new Farmall Cub up underneath to have a horn on there. Would be pretty cool. I found these 1/2-inch snap-on impact extensions for using the impact wrench. You can't use your regular ones because it'll bust them up. But these are crazy expensive from Snap-on. I got them both for $25. That's probably a quarter of the price it would cost you from the Snap-on guy. I got Mom a huge box of puzzles. Where she lives at the little retirement community where she's at, they do a lot of puzzles and they go through a lot of puzzles. And I don't know if you've priced puzzles lately, but they're crazy expensive. I got this whole box of puzzles for $5.50, so she's going to really enjoy this. We got a couple of buckets. I think these were 25 cents a piece. You can never have enough buckets. We always run out of buckets, or they disappear, or we drop them off somewhere with stuff in them. We don't get them back, so it's nice to get a couple buckets. I found this squirrel cage exhaust fan. Moves a lot of air. Didn't have the plug on it, but I was able to plug this into an extension cord that's in the holes, and this works great. This is going to go in the shop. I have another one already, but this will be an exhaust fan for the shop. We'll put it in the wall, and it'll take fumes or whatever we're doing in the shop. We'll put a big cord on it, wire it up, and we'll have 2 exhaust fans in the shop. It's going to be nice. Got some Romex also. Never have enough Romex in the shop. I'm always doing wiring projects that we need short pieces for. So this will be nice. When I wire up our new exhaust fans, I'll need some of this stuff. All right, that concludes day 1 of Jaunt. We had a nice successful day, I think. So join us in the next video for day 2 of Jaunt. I think we're going to be doing this for 3 days. So we'll see how it goes. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here on Markelly Farm.
Thanks for watching.